Hi, I'm Max and Adair, and welcome to Channel 1. The pro-democracy movement in Burma began in the 1980s, protesting against the junta, predominantly led by the leader and founder of the National League for Democracy, Aung San Suu Kyi. The Burmese population was growing discontent at the government, calling for pro-democracy, with over 2 million people participating in riots, civil disobedience, civil resistance and demonstrations. These riots and disobedience were met with brutal force by the junta, which resulted in the demonstrations becoming widespread. Aung San Suu Kyi also led the National League for Democracy to victory in the federal election in 1990. However, the Burmese military junta refused to transfer the power over to the NLD, angering the majority of the population. The junta also placed Suu Kyi under multiple house arrests, where she was able to gain international support from all over the world. This ultimately led to the democracy of Burma in 2011.
I'm in Burma. So now that we've heard about the pro-democracy movement, how did the military junta respond? In short, it was violently oppressed. Aung San Suu Kyi and the National League for Democracy gathered momentum in the 1980s. As a result, the military junta forcefully suppressed the pro-democracy movement. However, in 1988, unrest over political oppression by the government led to widespread pro-democracy demonstrations. Security forces arrested thousands of demonstrators and tortured detainees. In all, approximately 3,000 people were killed in these uprisings. Aung San Suu Kyi and the NLD rallied for democratic elections to take place. However, after two successful wins in 1990 and 2010, it took a by-election in 2011 to finally end military rule in Burma. Burma's junta finally stepped aside in 2011 after nearly 5 decades of repressive rule. An anomaly civilian government full of former military people pushed through many political reforms, freeing hundreds of civil prisoners and enabling democracy.
Hi, I'm Max and Adair, and welcome to Channel 1. I'm here today at the University of Burma with the legend Aung San Suu Kyi. How are you?
Hi Maxon, very well thanks.
That's good. Now let's get down to why you're really here.
Haha, I've been waiting for that question.
Okay, so let's start. You were born in 1945, and in 1960 you moved to India, where you observed the methods of Gandhi, being a peaceful nature of protest.
Yeah, well, we used a lot of these methods in the 888 uprising. It was really eye-opening because we used things such as civil disobedience in order to rise up against the junta at that time. Just all, of course, for the pro-democracy.
So it says here that you started the National League for Democracy.
Yes, we did. In 1988, we set up the first non-socialist pro-democracy party of its time. And we even won an election back in 1990. However, of course, the military junta did not recognise this win.
No, okay. So what have you been doing for the past 20 years or so?
Well, I've been drumming up a lot of support through international leaders such as Hillary Clinton for the past 20 years, while under house arrest, of course, for protesting against pro-democracy. With all the support we've managed to get, we even managed to create an election in 2011, which was absolutely amazing concerning Burma and democracy.
Well, that's all the time we have at the moment, but thank you for your time, Aung San Suu Kyi.
You're welcome. Hope we can talk about it again, Maxie.
I'm crossing to General J-Boy in the heart of the Burmese jungle.
Although Burma is now a democratic country, people often forget how the military initially took hold of Burma. After independence, this resulted in the potential collapse of the state, as weaknesses were found in several sectors. Occasionally, the military interfered with civilian rule and politics in state. Initially, the military's role was to protect Burma and the Burmese people, but soon after, the military started to wriggle their way into politics and assert their authority. Soon this military started to come together, excluding ethnic military regiments, going against the Penelong Agreement. Hence this exclusion was a total assault on the Federal Army, national freedom, and independent unity and loyalty to ethnic groups. This was not as all fair, as this new army only served the interests of the Burmese extremist leaders. The military formed a coup in 1962 and arrested the head, General Ne Win, who eventually died in prison. From that point, with the rise of military complete, it caused war, violence, and no democracy until Aung San Suu Kyi came along.